Hi, my name is Michelle Moroney. Welcome to my beginner series, Breaking It Down. In these videos, we're going to be looking at various aspects of our yoga practice, things that I see that beginners often have challenges with in the beginning, and in mixed level classes where a teacher may not spend the time to look at some of these smaller details that make a big impact on our practice. So today's video, we're going to look at the feet. When you start doing yoga, you really notice your feet. Teachers place great emphasis on the positioning of our feet. And you'll hear expressions like press into the four corners of your feet, lift into the arches of your feet. And for many of us, and especially beginners, we don't really have a sense of the different parts of our feet. And over the years, I've noticed that a lot of people can become very tight, and that can have a lot to do with wearing uncomfortable shoes, being on our feet too much, and a lack of awareness really into the muscles and the bones in our feet. So we all know how many bones we have in our feet. We also have a correlating number of muscles, tendons, ligaments. And if you consider that in most of our poses, our feet are the foundation, they're the part of our body that meets the floor, well, our standing sequence anyway. It's really important that we have flexibility, strength, and awareness in our feet. So this next little exercise is wonderful, and you can do this at any time. I like to do it in the morning, first thing, and last thing before I go to bed. And if you find your feet are quite stiff to begin with to do this, bringing a little bit of oil onto your hands makes this much easier. So we're going to try and interlace our foot with our hand. So this is interlacing our hands together. We're going to interlace opposite foot to opposite hand. So you're going to take your foot, bring your index finger between the big toe and the second toe, and then keep going. Now, as you get better at this, you'll find that you can actually bring the thicker part of your fingers closer to the hand, right there in between. In the beginning, you might find that you're only getting the tips of your fingers in. But as you get better at doing this, you'll get more and more of your fingers in. So it's like those toe separators that you see used for putting nail varnish on. So once you've got your hand in there, give it a nice squeeze, and then just bring some pressure in by squeezing and releasing. And now we're going to try and make circles with that top part of the foot. So we're not moving the heel or the main part of the foot, just from the knuckles of the big toes up. So really making an effort to not only push it all the way forward, but to the side and all the way back to the side. And we're going to try and do 8 of these circles in one direction. It might feel a little bit painful, stiff. You may not have done any stretches for your feet since you were much younger. Especially if you wear a lot of heels, you might notice that your feet get quite tight. When you're finished your 8 circles, we'll just change direction. Relaxing your shoulders and just breathing into it, noticing which part of the rotation is challenging. And then when you're finished, just release. And then just bring your feet out in front of you and close your eyes for a moment, or just gaze forward and just feel the difference. And without moving your feet, without bringing without actually walking or moving your feet, you will feel that there's a huge difference between one foot and the other. And then coming over to the other side, again, you can bring some oil, put some oil on your hands to make this a bit easier. Slide your fingers as far as you can, so it's opposite. So you're using the opposite hand and the opposite foot. When you get your fingers in, you're just going to, again, just squeeze a little bit, release. Try and get your fingers deeper in there, squeeze, and then release. And then we'll begin by making those circles. So you can sit any way you want. You can bring the leg out in front of you. You can do this lying down and drawing your foot in towards your chest. And then really focus on getting as much of a circle with the foot coming forward. You can use the other hand to help you. Going all the way out to the side. Noticing which places in that circle you feel the most resistance. When you've done 8 in one direction, change to the other side. Breathing, giving some love to your feet. They deserve it. Think of all the many miles that you've walked on your feet. And then when you're finished, release. And it's really nice to just see how much movement you can bring. This helps to bring flexibility into your toes. Try walking around. And this is a really nice thing to do before you start your standing sequence. So when your teacher says, press into the 4 corners, you can get a sense of the different places. So, as I said, I really recommend you do this in the morning and last thing at night.